You are listening to Season 2 of The Diary of a Wannabe Writer, the short and often daily podcast in which I chronicle my life and attempt to be a writer by writing daily. Sometimes.
Hello, today is Friday the 6th of June 2025 and you are listening to The Diary of a Wannabe Writer, and I'm actually attempting to record this incredibly discreetly, which means I'm talking very quietly with a microphone right in my face, which probably means there'll be some pops because I'm too close to the microphone, so apologies for that in advance. So yesterday I flew to Corsica and back with work. I did the podcast before I did that flight, and then today I'm going to JFK, but it's a late one, so we don't even report for work until 6 p.m, so we take off I think 7:40 p.m, which means we'll land, I think it's about 10 p.m. local time in New York. So given that they are 5 hours behind us, that's 3 in the morning UK time, and probably 5 in the morning UK time or midnight New York time by the time we actually get to the hotel. So that's it's going to be a long old night. So if I'm going to record a podcast every day, today I pretty much now is my only opportunity. I did have a long lie in this morning because I knew it was going to be a very late night, and I haven't really done a lot of writing to talk about. I can't remember. I think by the time I'd recorded yesterday, I'd read chapters 24 and 25 on paper, but I still need to do my screen sign off. My plan, hopefully, is to do that in New York. So I've got printed copies with me of those 2 chapters, and I will probably have a little sleep, go for a little walk in the morning, and then do a live stream at some point tomorrow, during which hopefully I'll record the podcast, which will feature me signing off those chapters, which will be nice. But other than that, there's not really much writing wise to talk about. I'll talk more about that. I think if I'm in the middle of signing those off, I'll be quite excited because there's some quite good stuff in these chapters. As I've said before, it was originally one chapter that I split into 2 because it was so long and because there was a natural kind of cliffhanger break point. Not quite in the middle, but not far off. I think it was originally 24 printed pages, and that's A4 printed pages. It'd be a lot more if it was in a book. And I split it down into the first bit's 13 and the second bit's 11, I think, something like that. But anyway, so I'm going to briefly talk about the fact that I've managed to get July off work because they offered it as unpaid leave, and I took it because I want to get writing done in that time. But I've kind of realised I've no real plans for it other than that writing, so I'm just going to sort of waffle on and sort of talk about some of the things I might possibly do. So I have some business class tickets that we get free at work that I can still use. I've got quite a lot of them actually. I successfully used one last month to go to Phoenix, which I really enjoyed, and I got business class both ways, so it was actually really enjoyable. So there's a few ideas popped to mind. The one thing I really don't want to do is go to America again. The main reason for this, and this is going to sound awful, but with the lovely President Trump buggering up everybody's economies at the moment, I don't feel that I want to support theirs in any way. So by being a tourist, obviously I'm adding to their economy slightly. So I have no intention of doing that at all. But then a lot of our destinations are America. Other places I really like are places like, I love Singapore, but the flights are always so full. There's no way I'd get on that because although it's a business class ticket, it's a business class standby ticket, so there's no absolute guarantee you'll either get business class or indeed that you'll be on the flight. So I wouldn't want to risk Singapore because my abiding memory of Singapore is when we get there for the flight back to the UK, there's a long line of people wanting to, on standby, hoping to be the 1 or 2 that get let on the flight. And so that's unfortunate. And I used to love, there's so many other places out that way we don't sort of fly anymore. Japan is one potential idea I might do. I'd quite like to go to China again, but Beijing is we don't fly there anymore, so that's a shame. Shanghai we go, but I'd have to look at getting a visa, and I believe they're quite expensive, so that might not be a brilliant idea. There is. We now have gone back into Thailand, into Bangkok, but the problem is we don't fly from Heathrow anymore. We fly from Gatwick, which I could do, but I know about where to park and stuff around Heathrow, and I know nothing about Gatwick, so that would stress me out. So, although I could probably do some research to find that out. At Kuala Lumpur, maybe. I don't know. Again, that's somewhere I lived as a kid, and I've always wanted to go back and do a bit of proper exploring. So that's kind of maybe a possibility. I don't know. It's a shame really, because my original plan was to do the unpaid leave in September, because the school holidays, the kids were back at school most of the month, and I actually like holidaying in the UK, and I'd really like to go somewhere in this week off, but I don't think UK is a good idea because, as I say, it's going to be slap bang in the middle of the school holidays, I think. I'll have to work out when the schools break up. Maybe early July might work, before the schools have broken up. I don't really quite know. But anyway, those are my options. The other one I'm strongly considering is Canada. Again, I need to look at how many flights we do and how full they are and whether I'm likely to get business class. But I really like Canada. My mum is Canadian, although she hasn't lived there since she was 5 or 6. So yeah, that's a possibility as well. So mulling loads of stuff over, no firm decision made yet. God, that was a good way of filling up 6 minutes, wasn't it? Thank you for listening, and I'll talk to you tomorrow, hopefully from somewhere in New York. Bye-bye.
You have been listening to The Diary of a Wannabe Writer. For more information about what I'm writing, go to linktr.ee/Richard Writes, capital R, capital W, where you can find details of my website and social media. I may see you there.